everybody, to a bonus episode of the Aaron Torres Sports Podcast. I am your host, Aaron Torres. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody is having a great Monday night if you're watching on YouTube. Tuesday morning, if you are listening, we got ourselves a special show today. Okay, so here is the deal. As many of you know, I'm a UConn grad, a UConn alum. I was in Houston. Well, I go to the Final Four every year, but I was in Houston last year when UConn got its 5th national championship. And I bring it up because today, we have a member of that team as well as a member of this year's team as UConn guard Hassan Diarra is joining the Aaron Torres pod. Really fun interview. We talk about his background, how he ended up at UConn. He transferred from Texas A&M. We talk about Dan Hurley. We talk about this year's team versus last year's team. We talk about the UConn history. Really, really, really fun interview. And here is the cool part. The plan going forward with Hassan is that we will have him on once a week the rest of the college basketball season, okay? And quickly, you don't need to be a UConn fan to enjoy it, but what we want to do on this show is take you through the highs and lows of a college basketball player in March. This is the busiest time of year. Hassan is very gracious with his time, but the goal is, what is it like being in the midst of a conference championship run? Hopefully a deep NCAA tournament run, and Hassan is going to join us every single week here on Monday night on YouTube, Tuesday morning on podcast, to go ahead and take us behind the scenes of what it's like to be a UConn Husky. One quick thing before we get started, it is worth noting, if you are living in Connecticut or you are a small business owner in Connecticut, if you want to be an advertiser, if you want to sponsor this segment every single week, have your company, have your whatever, reach thousands of UConn fans every week via podcast, YouTube, social media, etc., go ahead and email me atorres00@gmail.com or Aaron Torres podcast questions@gmail.com. That's probably the best place to do it. Aaron Torres podcast questions@gmail.com. Go ahead, email me there if you want to be an advertiser, if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to be linked with a current UConn Husky as they make a run in March. Go ahead and reach out. Again, Aaron Torres podcast questions@gmail.com if you'd like to consider being an advertiser. With that said, as I always say, there's no more time to waste. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, and coming up, Hassan Diarra, guard, UConn Huskies, defending national champions, joins me next. All right, joining me via Zoom, very special guest. I'm actually very excited to talk to. He is a guard on the defending national champion UConn Huskies. As we record here, it's a little before 1 p.m. Eastern time. Still technically number one in the country. Don't know where we'll land in the polls, but ultimately that doesn't really matter all that much at this time of year. Hassan Diarra. Hassan, man, what's going on?
How you doing, Aaron? Thanks for having me on the show.
No problem, man. I appreciate you doing this. I'm excited to have you. You know, the goal, we hope, is to get you on probably about once a week the rest of the season. Want you to take us behind the scenes of a team and a program that is obviously pushing for a second straight national championship. And where I want to start is, let me ask you this, is that for people who maybe don't know a lot about you, I mean, obviously you play for the Huskies. They tune in every Saturday, every Wednesday, Big East, FS1, Fox, whatever. I know I believe you're from Brooklyn originally. I know you spent a few years at A&M. Just tell people a little bit about who you are, what you're about, where you come from, and obviously we'll get to some of the UConn stuff in a minute.
Yeah, I'm Hassan Diarra. I'm from New York City. I'm actually from Queens. That's where I grew up. My mom currently lives in Yonkers. My dad still lives in Queens. I did 2 years at Texas A&M. I actually went to prep school in Connecticut, 30 minutes away from UConn, at Putnam Science Academy. Then I did my 2 years at Texas A&M, decided to transfer and come here to the lovely basketball capital of the world, Connecticut.
That's really caught on. I remember last year at the Final Four, Joey Calcaterra, I put out a video of him saying that, and I had fans like, no one calls UConn that. And I was like, one, I think they do, but two, you heard of ESPN, all that stuff. There's a lot of reasons, but what appealed to you when you decided to transfer? I know you have family on staff, but what really appealed to you about UConn when you decided to hit the portal a few years ago?
Coach Hurley's vision. I mean, just speaking with him on a daily out of the portal, his vision, his goals and what he ultimately wanted to do last year, we accomplished. So I mean, just his vision, his relentless effort, it was very appealing to me.
When you say his vision, what was the vision that he sold you? So you were here, you were at UConn last year for the national championship. That was your first year. When you got there, though, this was a team that was coming off a bunch of NCAA tournament bids, but hadn't really won at that high level. What was the vision that Coach Hurley did sell to you when you entered the portal and when you first started talking to him?
His vision was we're going to play for championships and we're going to work extremely hard to go get them. And I think, we did that last year. We worked extremely hard and we're still continuing to do that. You know what I mean? I feel like everybody has upped their level each and every day. And we're continuing to get better and better.
So listen, no disparaging anywhere else you've been, but Coach Hurley says, we want to work hard. And based on everything everybody that's ever played for him says, you do work hard for Coach Hurley when you play for Coach Hurley. Again, not taken away from anywhere else that you've played, but take us into maybe this time of year, I'm guessing probably doesn't run you quite as hard. It's late in the year. Your body's pretty beat up. Take us into like maybe a late October, early November. We got to set the standard for the season type practice with Dan Hurley.
I mean, they're physical, they're long, and they're competitive. I mean, I think that's the main thing. That we compete almost every day, which is perfect because how intense it is, how physical it is, it makes it easier for us in the game actually. So I love it. I mean, I'm for it. I'm here for it each and every day.
When you say competitive, what give us an example of what goes on in practice that's beyond just, stuff that people would think?
I mean, just competitive, like rebounding drills, and it's survival of the fittest. I mean, whoever gets the ball, you got to score it, and sometimes there aren't no fouls called. So your competitive will has to be more than your teammates, and which is perfectly fine. That's how we get better, and that's how we bond. Honestly, I think that's why we're so close knit, is because we compete against each other each and every day.
That's really interesting. So you're going up against like a Donovan Clingan, and whoever gets the ball, you you got to go right back up on him or anybody like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely going up against some really, really good guys each and every day. Donovan, Tristan, Cam. These guys are very talented, and their competitive will is at an all-time high as well. So competing against them each and every day it's amazing.
Very good. Let me ask you this. Obviously, last week didn't totally go as planned, but not very nice bounce back on Saturday. 24-point win, I believe, was the final score. What was the message from Coach Hurley? You guys haven't had much failure this year. 24-3, I believe, is the record right now. Maybe even 25-3. I apologize if I missed a game there. It is 25-3 as a matter of fact. What was the message coming out of that Creighton game last week?
I mean, it wasn't much of a message. It was much of what how we felt. Each and every person on the team felt a certain type of way about that game. How we let each other down. As a team, defensively, offensively, we weren't physical enough. And we understood that we couldn't do that. We need to be successful. For us to be successful, we can't do that. We have to show up each and every game. And we were eager to play Saturday. We were ready to go, and we were ready to compete because we felt like we didn't compete earlier in the week.
How much after a tough night like Creighton, everyone always says the best programs are player-led, not coach-led. How accountable do you guys hold each other when things aren't like I said, you haven't had much failure this year, but when things don't go quite to plan, how much are you guys holding each other accountable as opposed to just the coaching staff?
I mean, when things don't go as planned, we come together. We talk about it. We speak about it. We meet individually. We meet as a team. And we let our feelings out. Let us know what we need to get better at, what we need to do, and whatever that is, we go into practice and we attack that goal.
What's interesting about you guys, and I don't think a lot of people that aren't like diehard. First of all, let me ask you this. Tell us a little bit about Saturday night, Villanova, environment, energy. I talked to you a little bit on Friday. Obviously, we're recording here on Monday, but I talked to you Friday and you told me campus was going crazy, this and that. Take us through like what Saturday was like on campus, lead up to the game days in town, all that good stuff.
Yeah, it was crazy. College game day came to town for the first time in a long time. And students were camped out for 20 plus hours.
Damn.
So that could almost tell you just how crazy it was on campus. A lot of people came into town. Hotels was booked. A lot of traffic. I mean, the environment was so electric. College game day, I poked my head in for a little bit to see what was going on. I seen a lot of people make some half court shots.
Sure, Rip Hamilton.
Yeah, Rip Hamilton made it on the first try, and it was his jersey retirement day as well. So we got a chance to share that with him, which was amazing. So it was just so electric. It was fun, and I'm glad the fans got a chance to enjoy it.
Did you get a chance, or not you, but as a team, did Rip talk to you guys? Any messages? Did you get a chance to spend any time with him during the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, he spoke to us after the game, and his main message to us was, he's there for us. Which is amazing to me. I mean, he said he's a phone call away. If we need any help, any advice, he's there for us. He's been through it all, and we're appreciative of him. I mean, he's a legend. He's one of the goats of this, historic program. And for him to say, yeah, he's there for us, and he's a phone call away, meant a lot to me.
I'm gonna embarrass myself a little bit. Are you old enough to remember him at all as a player? Because 04, I think he won the NBA title. 01, or 99, he won the college. I know you don't remember the 99 title. Do you remember anything from his playing days, or is it all YouTube?
Be honest. It's all YouTube. I was born in 2001.
Sure.
But I'm kind of an old head on this team. I'm one of the older players, so sure. they kind of call me Unc a little bit sometimes. I tell them not to. But yeah, it's mostly YouTube. But me, coming from New York, you're a UConn fan, so you know about all these legends and all these guys. So I knew who he was definitely, and the tape shows that he doesn't lie.
So you said you grew up sort of a UConn fan. When did you first remember becoming conscious of, like, I'm sure you played with your older brother and this and that, but like becoming conscious of either college or pro or whatever when you were a kid?
Yeah, see, it was 2011 when Kemba Walker that run. That's when I became conscious of college basketball. And I'm like, sure. This guy is amazing, and he's from New York. I mean, you see yourself like, man, I want to be like that guy when I grow up. And that's what triggered, college basketball, and that's what triggered my love for UConn.
Let me ask you a dumb question. Obviously Kemba having that run at Madison Square Garden with, as you said, a New York City kid, like, I think, I grew up in Connecticut. So like UConn basketball players were like celebrities to me, and it was like touchable, reachable, attainable, whatever. Does somebody like Kemba, 5'11" from the Bronx, does that give you any, like, and I don't know if you remember being a kid at that age, 10 years old, but gives you the confidence of like, dude, if this kid did it from this neighborhood, not far from where I am, he's playing right down the road. Does that kind of give, I don't know if it would or not, but any kind of confidence that like I could do this too?
Yeah, it gives you confidence, it gives you hope. Somebody that's done it and is from the same area as you. I mean, he's a legend where I'm from. What he's done in high school, and then to go on to college, and then to the NBA, even so seeing him do that gives guys like where I'm from tons of confidence, and it shows that it can be done. So credit to him. I'm appreciative of him as well.
Very good. A couple questions more. We'll get you out of here. First of all, you talk about Coach Hurley bringing you in, wanting to compete for championships. It's interesting. I don't think a lot of non-UConn fans would remember this, but UConn didn't win the Big East regular season last year. They didn't win the Big East conference tournament last year. How much motivation has that provided for you? I see you shaking your head. For people who are listening on podcasts, they don't see it, but Hassan's shaking his head. For like what has that been like a carrot that's kind of dangled in front of you guys all season long?
I mean, yeah, I think we came into the season knowing, like, last year, our Big East performance wasn't as good as we wanted it to be. And this year we understood that, each game counts the same. So each game is very important. And I think our focus has been next game. This is the game that we have to win. And I think we've been doing a good job of it. And I think that's the reason why we're in a good position to win the regular season. And after that, after we win the regular season, we have to go for the Big East tournament, which is going to be a battle. But I think we're in a good spot. You know what I mean? We're in a good mind space. And I think everyone has the same mentality.
Is that something, you know, they say in basketball, like sometimes you got to take lumps as a team. Like you hear that a lot in the NBA of like team will lose in the first round one year, then they'll make the conference finals, then they'll make the finals, and it takes that fourth, fifth time to win it all. With you guys, like I feel like there must have been some really valuable learning lessons in January of last year. Again, for people who don't remember, you guys struggled. You know, it didn't end up ultimately mattering in March, but I'm guessing it probably made you guys stronger. Not only last year when the games counted the most late in the season, but probably early in conference play this year as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think adversity is an important thing that you have to go through to become successful. You know what I mean? A lot of successful people fail, and from that, you know what I mean, comes success. So I believe that helped us. You know what I mean? It made us come together, especially last January. It was very tough for everybody here because we understood how good we were. We just couldn't figure it out at the time. But you know, I mean, we came together, we stayed close knit, and I think that helped the chemistry of our team because instead of when things went bad, we didn't go apart. We came together, and I think that was the main thing that helped us in March.
I want to still focus on this year, but going back to last year, do you think was there one specific thing, one specific moment that allowed you guys? Because as you said, you know, Coach Hurley is a competitor, an insane competitor. You guys are all insane competitors. Was there one specific thing that allowed you guys to kind of get past that slow stretch, or how does that work?
I mean, we met as a team. I'll say we came together as a team and we said, "Yo, we understood how good we are, and we seen in the beginning of the season. We just have to get back to that." And I think everybody came together and said, you know, we got to start playing with our swagger and our confidence back. And I think that's exactly what we did.
How would you compare? You know, I won't do the cliche, and I don't think it's fair to you to say who's better or worse because obviously last year you won a championship. But how would you compare last year to this year in terms of not win loss record necessarily, but just the dynamics of everything? You know.
I would say, you know, I mean, everybody has upped their game this year. You know, I mean, I think, you know, I mean, the guys that were there last year that came back, you know, we know what it takes because we've been through it, and I think it's helping the young guys and the transfers as well because but we know what we have to do on a daily basis. We know what it takes, and I think that's why we've been so successful this season because we're attacking it like we want to win a championship each and every day.
Mm-hmm. You know, real. You know, no knock, but obviously guys that weren't there probably think, you know, because I'm coming to UConn, I don't want to say it's easy, but that, you know, whatever. Was there a adjustment from you older guys that were there? Like, hey, this isn't as easy as it looks like, you know, you guys got to, whether it's bring it every day, work out early, work out late, take care of your body. Cause I just feel like, and I've heard this from other teams that I've covered or coaches that I've talked to where it's like, when you have that success as a program, you know, sometimes guys come in from the outside and we're not criticizing anybody, nothing like that, but it's like the natural inclination of, well, I'm a UConn Husky. We win championships. That's what we do. But it's like the guys that weren't there the year before don't always realize how hard it was.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I would say, you know, for the freshmen, you know, coming into college is an adjustment anywhere you go. And then coming into UConn, you know, we understood that after winning the championship, we have a target on our back. So we understand that we have to work 10 times harder than we did last year. So we're pouring that into them, and they understood it. You know, credit to them. You know, they've been doing a great job. You know, Steph is playing out of his mind. You know, the other guys, Solo, Stewart, you know, Jaden Ross, and Yusuf, they're getting better and better each and every day. You know, but Cam has just been a blessing for this team. I mean, he is a perfect fit. I mean, we don't really need to push him. He pushes us with his competitive will and his competitive fire. So they've done a great job.
I'll tell you what, we'll save Cam maybe for a future conversation because he has quickly become one of the favorites of the UConn Huskies. Hassan Diarra, UConn Husky. Real quick, so tell us a little bit about the headbands too. I know you're doing the headband thing on social media. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I wear my headbands, and it was a thing last year where every time I wear my headbands, they say I play good. So, I mean, this year it's really took off. It started off on Twitter, and I came out with some headbands with my name on them, Hassan Diarra, HBH. I got some shirts and hoodies as well. But yeah, I just wanted to do it for the fans because they love the headband Haas thing, and I was just like, I mean, let's capitalize on it. Let's give the fans what they want.
How can people get the headbands?
So you could go to 22threads.com.
Okay.
And then you could search up my name, Hassan or Headband Haas, and then all the merch should be there.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right, Hassan Diarra, UConn Huskies. Now you guys got a week off this week, so I know we got to go. You got class. You're you put the student in student athlete. You know, at UConn we send our kids to school. But anyway, neither here nor there. What do you guys do on a week where you don't play again until Sunday? So I mean, you got like 8-9 days off here. I mean, what do you guys do when you have an extended period like that?
So like a day like today, you know what I mean? Guys will come in individually and get their workout in. We'll meet with the trainer. We'll get our treatments. If we could get a massage, we'll get a massage. But you know what I mean? The rest of the week, we'll have practices. And our practices will be a little bit longer than usual. And we work on things where we need to get better at, you know what I mean? Fine tune things defensively, offensively. Work on areas where coach feels like we need to improve. And we also focus on getting healthy, you know what I mean? Resting our body because after this, it's the long stretch. It's the main stretch. So we'll work on that, and ultimately we just get better.
How nice is it to get a few days this time of year? For I don't want to take up too much more of your time. You do have class, but like I imagine you guys are, you played 28, 29 games since early November, maybe got a couple days off for Christmas, but that's probably it. A lot of travel. I mean, how nice is it just to have a couple days off at this time of year? How important is
cool,
it?
you know what I mean? I mean, it's pretty cool. It's important. I mean, we're not traveling, so we get a chance to lay in our beds. You know what I mean?
Sure.
A couple more times this week. But it's ultimately all about rest. You know what I mean? The most rest team is going to perform the best. And I think it's a great time for us to really relax and chill, but also get better.
All right. Hassan Diarra, UConn Huskies. Huskies return to the court on Sunday. I did have the schedule in front of me here. I actually have last year's schedule up. I was looking up some stuff before. You know who's on the schedule? Because my computer's freezing here. So who we got this Sunday?
We play Seton Hall.
That's what I thought.
We play Seton Hall Sunday at 12 p.m. noon. It'll be a senior night for me, Cam, and Tristan. So if you could come out and support.
Yes, Gamble Pavilion, Sunday, senior day. That's it, man. Enjoy the game. Hopefully we'll do this again next week. We'll do it off of a win, and we'll have a lot more to discuss, all right?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me, man.